I believe the Indianapolis Colts will go 11-6 this year. The biggest move they made this offseason was they traded for quarterback Carson Wentz. And look, you either believe in this move or you don't. I personally think it's going to be a home run. I think it's going to work very, very well. I acknowledge that Carson is coming off of a bad year last year. But you are pairing Carson Wentz with Frank Reich, his dream head coach, the coach who got the best out of him a couple years ago in Philadelphia when he was actually an MVP candidate. And the Colts, by the way, have a great team. Remember, quarterbacks need help. And this Colts team is great on both sides of the ball up front. They have an offensive line that is outstanding. Now, one concern, I will acknowledge the one concern I have with this Colts offensive line. It is Eric Fisher, their new left tackle. He's not playing week one. That's not a small deal. That's a big deal, and I worry about that. He's still recovering from a torn Achilles. But otherwise, man, their Colts offensive line they have is fantastic. And if Eric Fisher can stay healthy and play at a high level, that's going to be a really, really impressive offensive line and one of the better ones in the NFL. The Colts have 3 stud running backs. They have starter Jonathan Taylor. They have Naheem Hines, who is a guy that catches passes out of the backfield, more like a scat back. And then Marlon Mack is a good contributor who can bring depth off of the bench. Colts top receiver T.Y. Hilton right now, unfortunately, starts the year on the IR. He will miss at least the first 3 games. But even without T.Y. Hilton, the Colts have a couple really solid receiving options. They have Michael Pittman Jr., they have Paris Campbell, they have Zach Pascal, plus 2 tight ends, Jack Doyle and Mo Ali Cox. Now, the defensive front for Indianapolis is terrifying. They are led by defensive tackle DeForest Buckner. He actually apparently played hurt all year last year. They also just drafted a new defensive end, Kwity Paye. He should have a really, really big impact immediately. I love his story, love his family, love everything about Kwity Paye. I think he's going to be a stud in Indianapolis. Linebackers Bobby Okereke, and then Darius Leonard is outstanding. An outstanding, fantastic linebacker in Indy. Now, corner is a concern, especially week 1 with the Colts. Xavier Rhodes is going to be out against Seattle. And when you're missing Xavier Rhodes and you're missing your starting left tackle, Eric Fisher, week 1 against Seattle, a team that I think on paper, if everyone's healthy, the Colts are way better than Seattle. But unfortunately, if you're missing a couple guys and Seattle has Russell Wilson and you're missing a corner, especially Rock Ya-Sin, your number 2 corner, is a big weakness for this football team. So even if you were fully healthy in the secondary where Xavier Rhodes was healthy, I still would be worried about Rock Ya-Sin trying to guard DK Metcalf occasionally. Defenses are going to go after Rock Ya-Sin this year. He is a weakness on this football team. And this year is going to come down to a couple things in Indy, things that have to go well. Not having a number 2 corner is a problem. It's, that other corner, the guy not named Xavier Rhodes, that's really bad. It's a hole on their roster. And they match up particularly badly with the Tennessee Titans who have A.J. Brown and Julio Jones at receiver. So, Xavier Rhodes can guard one of those guys, but the other one's going to have to be guarded by Rock Ya-Sin, and that really, really makes me uncomfortable and makes me nervous. However, the Colts are a team that I think, man, if they can get a couple things to go right, they are capable of making a Super Bowl run. Like, they have a really, really fantastic team around them. But the question is, I guess, really, how much do you believe in Carson Wentz? That's a big, big question you have to answer with this Colts football team. I believe he's going to return to form. The form he was in last time he played for Frank Reich. He was, remember, the front runner for MVP before he got hurt. I believe in Carson Wentz. Another question with this football team is Eric Fisher, the left tackle. Kansas City cut him for a reason. He's already missing week 1. Can he stay healthy? Can he even play at a high level? Remember, Eric Fisher is coming off of a major Achilles injury at 30 years old at left tackle. I don't know. I think Eric Fisher has a couple good years left in him, but again, Kansas City didn't cut him for no reason. Part of that was to save money. Part of that was, I hope not, that he's too washed up to play well. But again, I want to repeat this. I believe the Colts are a football team that is on the cusp of making a Super Bowl run. Really, if they got a couple good players to add, if they could have another corner and another star receiver, this is a Super Bowl football team. Unfortunately, I think they just are a team that makes the playoffs, has a nice run, falls short. But it's only year 1 for Carson Wentz. And I think once the Colts fill a couple more holes on this roster, give Carson Wentz one more year to gel and, get used to playing for Frank Reich again, I think next year is the year where we're going, hey, Colts fans, raise their expectations. Hopefully they draft a receiver, get a corner, something like that. But if they make a move or two next year, they will be a team that this year is a playoff team. Next year is a potential Super Bowl team.